Oh yeah, okay. You gonna get a taco on, bud?
You know it.
Why you showing my pink drink, motherfucker?
Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back. So that was Taco Daddy in Stamford, Connecticut, and I've been dying to try this spot out for a while now. Killer food, great drinks, and very friendly staff. Make sure to check them out on Instagram. And if you're in the area, make it a point to stop by. Great restaurant. And as usual, when I go out to eat with my brother, I'm stuffed. We tend to do that a lot. But anyway, I'm back in the studio, and I'm gonna show you how I make birria tacos. I tried these for the first time a few years ago when I had my little food stand at Smorgasburg, and ever since, they've become my new favorite taco. Traditionally, birria is made with goat meat, but anywhere I've had them or seen them on a menu, they're usually made with some sort of braised beef, normally short rib. But today I'm using palamilla, or better known as top sirloin. It's fairly inexpensive and it packs some serious beef flavor. So let's jump right into the kitchen. I'm gonna show you how I butchered that up. As you can see, there wasn't much to trim off here. I basically just cut off the thick, hard pieces of fat, but you also want to keep as much of that soft fat on as possible for this long cook. So all of that infused oil that floats to the top during the cook, we're gonna skim it off, and we're gonna use that later on for the tortillas. So again, hard fat, no. Soft fat, yes. And then just cut up the meat into large equal portions. Season with salt and pepper. And then place the meat off to the side for about an hour. Now let's get to the adobo. This is going to be the base for our braising liquid. Throw the chilies, the tomatoes, and the tomatillos into a small pot, and just add enough water to cover everything. Bring all that up to a boil, and when the skin on the tomato starts to crack, you're ready to go. Strain all your ingredients into the blender with about a cup of that cooking liquid. So I chose to leave the seeds in the chilies, which is gonna give my sauce a little extra heat, but that's really up to you. Now add in 4 ounces of canned chipotle peppers, 5 cloves of garlic, 2 tablespoons of ground cumin, 2 tablespoons of ground coriander, about 1/4 cup of white vinegar, and about 1/4 cup of salt. Now zap that up, and let's move on. We gotta brown the meat. You want to start by adding a generous amount of canola or vegetable oil to the bottom of the pot. And when the oil gets up to temp, gently add in your meat, 1 piece at a time. So this browning process actually does 2 things to the dish. Number 1, it helps seal in the juices inside the meat, and of course it's gonna add some extra flavor to our consommé. This is the way I was taught, and is the proper way to braise meat. With that being said though, my mother used to make stews all the time, and not once did she ever brown the meat. And she's probably one of the best cooks that I know, so I won't judge you if you decide to skip this step. Alright, so now with all the brown meat out of the pot, chop up 1 white onion, and finally dice the stems of the cilantro. Alright, next I threw the onions into the pot for a quick saute. A few minutes later, my onions were nice and sweaty, so I added the meat back into the pot along with the adobo. And then, add enough water to cover. Then the rest of the spices, the 2 cinnamon sticks and 2 bay leaves, and those cilantro stems that we just chopped up. Getting up to this point didn't take much time at all, but the cook took about 4 hours at a light boil for the meat to get nice and fork tender. And let it cool down a bit before we chop it up. In the meantime, we have to skim and reserve the grease from the consommé. Now give the consommé a taste and adjust the seasoning if you have to. I decided to go with the white corn tortillas for this dish. For me, it's a texture thing more than the authenticity. But as you can see from Taco Daddy, they use flour tortillas and they work great. So, and for the cheese, a simple Monterey Jack. All right, we're almost ready to put these tacos together. The only thing left is the garnish. Grab one white onion and give that a fine chop. And cilantro finely chopped. And then a few limes cut into wedges. And now we're ready to go. All right, guys, that's a wrap. These tacos are gonna change your life. Do me a favor, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe, and I'll check you guys in the next one. Peace.